Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and don't bother asking why or how I just did that. So today, I wanted to make a video on my Xbox One collection. I've been wanting to do this a little bit sooner. There was a few games that were missing that I wanted to have here. I think it's a more well-rounded uh, game selection. And as I just mentioned, it's obviously about the games, but a few accessories too, to boot. So, I've had my Xbox One for about 10 months since last June, maybe even a little bit longer. And I'd say I'm off to a pretty good start here. That's more games than I've had for my 360 at that point. I have a ton now, but back then, probably because I don't really like to trade my games in anymore. Mainly because you don't get any money for them, really, but I'd rather just keep them. And if you buy them used, I think I bought my 360 games used. Buy them used, you can get really good deals on them. So I was actually going to talk a little bit about that. Where's the best place to get them, or when's the best time to get these games, and also what I think of each game and which ones should you really have in your collection if you don't already. So hopefully you'll stick around, and hopefully I can get into a more humanly and comfortable position to do the rest of this video. Okay, so now that I'm set up, better show the games individually. I'll just get started, but there's really no particular ordering to these, basically just the order I purchased them in, so no grouping or categorizing. So aside from that, there's no organization to it. So the oldest game I have here would be Call of Duty Ghosts, which you really can't go wrong with it, especially for the price that it is today. Not that many people play it. There's still, from the last time I played on PS3 and 360, a good bit of people that still play it. It did suck in some ways, but actually after playing Advanced Warfare, that game looks a lot better and the story's a ton better. But it's just not that great multiplayer wise. When I'm talking about Advanced Warfare, it just gets weird. It's weird how it plays. I guess people have either used the exosuit improperly or they've mastered it. I don't know, but I've just never really liked it. This feels a little bit more, not tactical, but it just felt like you had to play a little bit more conscientiously, to where Advanced Warfare you just bounce around. So next on the list is Battlefield 4, which looked great. Problem was it didn't really play great until more recently. And when I say more recently, I'm still talking, probably a year ago. But in regards to when it actually launched, it was pretty broken, which I had it on PS3. Didn't work at all, which was pathetic. I've never had a game that you can go online and it doesn't do anything. It looks wonderful. It's pretty fun, and you can get the season pass, so the DLC, and even the game itself pretty cheap now. I really didn't care for Hardline. It looked neat, but it's definitely not a game I'm going to pay full price for. And I don't even know if I'd play it that much. I like Battlefield. It's always a fun experience and a different experience. But compared to Call of Duty, I just don't put the same amount of time into it. But again, if you can pick it up cheap, it's definitely worth it. And I didn't really get too far into the story mode, but it's okay. So then the next game I got, and I believe I bought these all at the same time when I first got an Xbox. So the next one I have is NBA 2K14. I don't buy sports games every year anymore. They're just not worth it. And the problem again, a lot of games these days are full of glitches, and it's just not worth paying $60 for a game that's going to be outdated next year. Some games they quit the support, the online support, the roster updates, obviously after the season's over. But it looks great, and it actually played pretty great too. I haven't played it that much. I played it a whole lot when I first got it. No real reason to get NBA 2K15 again. I like playing a basketball game, and I like watching basketball now and then, but I'm not into sports like how I used to be, so it looks good, and if I ever feel like playing it again, I have a basketball game in my arsenal. Next up, and this was a game that I paid way more than what it was worth, was Watchdogs. People were telling me, how good it was, and I kind of figured, it looked neat, but I was just like, it looks like you press X to do everything, so there's really no, it just didn't feel like what it could have been. And it's kind of hard to explain, but I've only put a few hours into this game. I played it one day, pretty good, and then maybe one more time, and then a few months later I went back and I don't know. Graphics are the weak point, if you ask me. Like when you, that first safe house or whatever they call it that you're in, when you're up on the balcony up there and there's like trash and stuff, it looks like PS2 graphics. It's just really bad. The police chases I think are really fun. They're really challenging. And the story wasn't bad and the gameplay wasn't bad, but I don't know. I liked the Saints Row approach back when there was like Saints Row instead of Grand Theft Auto. It wasn't as good, but it was quirky and had its own. I mean, the franchise, the series has definitely moved from how it was with Saints Row 1, but this game just, I don't know if it tried too hard to compete with GTA, but didn't really work out. And I did like the multiplayer with like the cell phone missions where you had to try and find people, but just doesn't have replay value to me. Fortson Motorsport 5 probably, I don't know if I'd say number one, but I think number two most played game for me on the Xbox One. And that's simply because, as I'll get to again, I have the racing wheel, force feedback, and the cockpit. So I was really looking forward to that, and I put a lot of money into that, let alone. A lot of people didn't like this game. I personally loved it. I do understand, it wasn't fair how many cars were out of the game and the lack of tracks, but it really wasn't their fault. Microsoft pressured them to, get it out for launch, and what company isn't going to sell you the cars? They did give you some for free, but it would kind of be dumb for them just to give everything for free. And I'm sure Forza 6, I'm looking forward to that one as well. I'm sure it'll have more cars. Hopefully it needs to have more tracks. A lot of replay value, especially if you have a wheel, like I said, but it looks great. And I believe casual people, it's easy to play depending on what settings you put it on, from rookie to simulation. Next up, a really good one, and really quite underrated in my opinion, is Titanfall. I really like the game. I had this for the 360 back in April. It was like one of the last games I really played a lot on the 360. And I didn't have any hopes for it, but it looked cool. And I figured, no campaign, online only, but I don't know, something about it. I just really liked the game. It's really fun. I wish more people played it to this day. I got the season pass for like $6, but there's just not that many people playing it. I believe the next one's coming back as a multi-platform, so hopefully it gets kind of a reboot to the new young franchise. Hopefully they can get campaign in it and some better features like Call of Duty. Madden 15, probably the best Madden to date. Before that, I would say probably Madden 13 definitely was last gen's best game. And there was a bunch of hit or miss games in the Madden franchise. And Madden 25, which I did have, and that is also one of the few games that I have or had that I traded in, because there's really no need for Madden 25. I just didn't really care for it. Graphics were better, but I just didn't really like how it played. It wasn't bad, but Madden 15 was so much better. The graphics basically were on par with MLB The Show on PS4, which is really good. It plays really well, plenty of modes, plenty of things to do. So this is definitely one for the collection. It probably can be picked up cheap now. I usually do collect Madden, so at some point I'll probably pick up Madden 25 again, and I might get Madden 16, who knows. Next up is Advanced Warfare. As I kind of mentioned before, one of the games I paid almost full price for because I just went out and got it a few days after launch because I thought it looked good, because I was really wanting to get away from Ghost, but it just wasn't that good. Campaign was good. I never finished it, but the online, although I have maybe a day in it, I'm not doing terrible. My KD's over 1, but it's not as fun as what I was doing on Black Ops 2 and Ghost, where I could quite often lead the team. Now it just can be rough. Maybe that's just me, or maybe that's how it is for a lot of people. So next up is Rocksmith, and this is a little bit of a different game, and it comes in a box set this big. The main reason I got it is I believe it retails for $80, and one day I was at GameStop and it was on sale for like $49, I think. And I did want this game, and at the time I thought that the music games were dead, but recently both Rock Band and Guitar Hero announced new games coming out. But nothing is the same as Rocksmith, which is basically all made possible by this, I guess it would be an analog to USB cable that you plug into a real guitar, which I have a few of, and then you plug this into your console, and you could probably even use this on a computer yet. I just don't have software to try. But then you can play the game with like a Guitar Hero Rock Band, basically the same GUI or whatever you want to call that. It plays pretty good. It's pretty accurate, but I just haven't put that much time into it because it's definitely more of a challenge to want to get into a proper seating position and play your guitar and make sure it's tuned compared to just picking up a controller. But it works well. It has a really good selection of songs on it. Probably won't be able to see those, but I did do an unboxing and I probably talked about the track list. But definitely worth having for that price, and if I ever go back to it, will be worth it. So the next up, Halo Master Chief Collection. We all know the problems. I've never personally had them. I bought the game in December, and I got it on sale. This would be a game probably worth well, I think it only goes for like 30 to 40 now. It'd definitely be worth that, because of all the Halo campaign games to play through, and you get the Nightfall thing, which I haven't checked out yet. The Halo 5 beta, which I didn't care for too much. And again, you get 5. Let me think here. It's been a while since I played Halo. You get the 4 games, beta access, which has already ended. And apparently people that played this during the time that it was basically crap servers or whatever, you were supposed to get Halo ODST, the remastered version, but I haven't heard anything more on that. I did get a free month of Xbox Live for having it, I guess, when it didn't play right. I haven't gotten back to playing it, but it's definitely there for the campaign, and if they can just get the matchmaking fixed up. But I can tell you I'm not getting Halo 5. 343 just doesn't impress me. Grand Theft Auto 5, one of the best games probably of last gen, and really the best solid performing game on this generation of consoles, because it's already tried, true, and tested. We know it's good. It has everything. I don't really care for the online. I tried Heist the day it came out and it just didn't work, and I never played it since. The only problem is I really haven't given this game the time it deserves. I had a few days on the 360 version, then I sold it, got the PS3 version, because I always wanted it on one disc or something, I think, or maybe I was running out of space on the Xbox, but I played it a lot on there, and I just never played it as much on the Xbox One version, because going through that third time, it gets a little bit tedious. Hopefully they'll add DLC for the story mode. I would love that. That's a game that deserves it. Forza Horizon 2. Really hard to find this game cheap. It's usually sold out. I actually had to buy this game brand new for the full price. I don't do that with too many games. But it's worth it. I haven't played it as much as I should, because, again, I'm just collecting them at this point practically. But it's fine. And, of course, I use it with the Thrustmaster wheel. So there that is. And last on, or as far as physical copies go, is Destiny. And you'll see it's in a, looks like a 360 case. I bought it used on Amazon for probably around $20. They didn't describe that, which I personally don't care for, like that. But if I ever get an extra Xbox One size case or find one cheap on eBay, I'll probably swap it out. I knew this game wasn't going to be worth full price before it was even launched. I just didn't really think it was a game I wanted. But after playing the beta, I kind of became a believer in it. It was really good. Plays great, looks great, but it just kind of feels lost. Kind of feels like, I wouldn't say the beta still, but it just feels like maybe you're supposed to be like an open community game with mods and make your own things, but you can't. But that's what it feels like. It just doesn't have a true direction. If it was more like Mass Effect and had a little bit of a story into it to tie it together, they have a great platform to work with. Again, I like how it plays and everything, so hopefully with the next one they can get a little bit more life out of this idea. Now let me show the controller, which I also did an application of this for Halo Day back in January. See, I got a little bit of dust here. And this is what the controller, it's not a special controller, it's just a skin over top with these thumbsticks on. They tend to spin around. I put a little bit of like rubber grippy stuff in there, but you can't put too much, it'll just be too thick and fall right back off. I thought about gluing them, but I don't want to ruin my controller in case they wear off or something, then you'd be stuck with that glue. If I can find some kind of like silicone sealant or something that wouldn't leave residue, I would probably change that. Hopefully we can get a little bit better. Exposure is always hard with this camera with blacks. Black on black especially, but it's neat. I think I've seen some going for way more than they should on eBay. And now let me adjust this and get to the last part of this review, or unboxing, talking about things, my collection, whatever you want to call it. And that would be the Thrustmaster 458 Italia force feedback racing wheel. I have unboxings on that, some gameplay of Forza 5, some with the Playseat Challenge, which is what I have it set up with. The first one I got, the first wheel was defective, had to send it back. You'll read the reviews, you'll find that out real quick. It's hit or miss. Make sure you get one that they'll refund you, because you don't want to deal with Thrustmaster, even though they put a year warranty on it. Sometimes you have to pay like $100 to ship it. I've heard the horror stories, but when you get a working one, it's definitely worth it. If you're a PC gamer, just go and get the T300 RS for the PS4. It's also compatible with. If you want it for the Xbox One, it's definitely better than the Mad Catz. Even working non-defective versions of that wheel are disappointing and pretty much garbage. So I would definitely like to get a better rim. The reason why I'm just showing the rim so I don't have to change the shot and try and get one of the entire wheel, because it's also hooked up to my place heat challenge. Maybe in the future I'll do a video or a review on the Thrustmaster wheel. I've been waiting for the pedal set and shifter, but they're always out of stock, and there'll be a few that are like way overpriced on eBay or Amazon, so it's not worth it. And I need to have another game other than Fortson to test it on, so I'm waiting for Project Cars. And speaking of that, the last part of this long-winded video is games I'd still like to get. I would like to have Dead Rising 3 would probably be worth it. Look like a pretty good game. Assassin's Creed, Black Flag. And that's, if I could get something else really cheap, maybe, but that's really all I'm looking for. But what I'm looking ahead to is Project Cars hopefully coming out this year. Who knows what they keep delaying it. I think they should start calling it Half-Life Project Cars or Project Life or whatever you want to call it. Hopefully that'll come out, and then I'm looking forward to Black Ops 3, which I believe was announced because Treyarch posted a few Black Ops 3 logos. That will be a Call of Duty that I probably will get day one because I love the Black Ops series. Treyarch's been knocking out of the park every time, as long as they don't take the exosuit or do something stupid. I think we'll finally have a really, really good Call of Duty on this current generation. And Forza Motorsport 6 until E3. I don't know if there's anything else I'm interested in. Then there's also the digital games. None of them are really that good. Some standouts are D4. You have to really spend a lot of time reading. That's why I haven't played it that much. And then there's all the arcade and platformer games, which sometimes I don't even touch them, but I download them. And some I spend 1 hour and I never touch them again. They're not really worth mentioning because you know what's come out for them. And to me, it's like a CD. You listen to a CD, you take the time to get the physical CD out. You're probably going to want to listen to the whole thing. But if you just look up that same album on your iPod, you're probably just going to pick and choose what song you want to listen to. So whenever I go to put the game in and stuff, I'm more likely to play it and come back to it compared to just a digital, interface on the Xbox to go ahead and decide to play that game. But I should probably stop now because it probably took as much time out of your day to do this as it did for me to collect all these games. So you can check out my channel. I have some unboxings of these games and reviews. And there's not too much more Xbox One content I want to do right now. There's nothing going on. But there will be anything important that comes up, and I have plenty of other ideas of things, videos in the making that I'll think about doing. So hopefully you like this, and you can always skip through it if you think it was too long, but that's kind of what I do. So thanks for watching. Check out my Instagram if you want to do that, and that's just something I'll throw in there. Hopefully you enjoy these Xbox One games. Tell me what you have. And just thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one if I try and do a little stupid pop-in like that. So have a good one. You know what, I'm also going to get that one person that comments like they can't even speak English. Like, dude, man, you're stupid. Why do you spend 5 minutes talking about each game? Get the F on, man. What's wrong with you? So for you, here's this game, whoever that may be. It's always someone new. This game's stupid. Man. Basketball. I don't know about that, man. That's a game, I don't know. I got this game. Man, this game's cool as fuck, man. Here we go. This is cool. I got this game. It's a game. Game. Yeah, there's this thing, And then this. There's your short review that doesn't take any talent or really tells you anything. It's kind of more of a waste of time than a long-winded review that talks about things. But that's a joke, so don't anyone get offended because I know that happens a lot on YouTube.